Just a little disclaimer here, I do cuss from here and there, so if that bothers you at all, you're welcome to see yourself out and not continue watching that, but just a little disclaimer. All right, you guys, I am coming at you guys just very real and raw, no makeup on, in my everyday quarantine outfit for you, if you will. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a weird video to make, but also a really exciting video to make. I have some very, very exciting news to share with you guys, and it's just really unusual times to share that news, but it still, I think, deserves attention, and my husband and I are both really excited to announce that we have a little baby Keef that is on the way that will be with us in January. So I am hoping that this news is like the biggest kickstart to 2021. 2020 has definitely been an unusual year. It has been a very painful year, a really hard year, but I think also a really beautiful year as well. Just to give you guys some context of when you guys are watching this video, it is now June 3rd. I just went to my 8-week appointment this last Friday. So that was on the 29th, and now it's June 3rd. To give that even further context, we as a community of Long Beach just went through massive riots and also beautiful, peaceful protesting in Long Beach. So kind of the reason why I hadn't filmed this yet for you guys is, number one, I felt like dog shit. The other reason why I had not filmed this yet is because, to be honest with you, I have been in just kind of a weird headspace this week, and I wanted to do this when I could feel excited and feel my best, and I'm not going to feel my best, and I'm going to do my best to show my excitement because I am excited, but we're just living in really weird times to even share this news, and it's even weirder to think about bringing another life into this world right now, and I'm just being very honest about that. Donnie and I are both super excited to become parents and to embark on that adventure and that journey. But it is odd to think about bringing another human into this world right now. With that said, I am really trying to shift my headspace and my mindset to looking at this as such an amazing, amazing opportunity for Donnie and myself to raise a really good human. And I'm going to get into other parts of this as well. Again, this is going to be kind of raw and real, and I'm probably just going to go on to little tangents, but if you are interested in hearing me speak specifically on pregnancy with COVID, I will be covering that kind of towards the end of this. But I did want to speak on how we are really excited and looking at this as an opportunity to raise a really good human. I am grateful and I feel honored to be able to teach somebody else, specifically my child, what is right and wrong, and that racism is not tolerated in our home. I want to teach them what racism is. I want to teach them what white fragility is, what complicity is. I feel very blessed. I feel super blessed to have that opportunity, and I think that if you are a parent watching this right now, man, what a amazing opportunity to teach your kids what is right and wrong. And they are going to look at 2020 in their history books, and I would much rather prefer that I was on the side of what I did during this time to make an impact instead of it just being an intention that didn't really have much behind it. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. We're super pumped, we're super excited. I am now filming this. I think I'm at 9 weeks and a couple days. It was hard for me to film this for you guys just because I was so physically ill the last couple weeks and not feeling my best. I'm feeling really good right now, but I feel like I'm probably shooting myself in the foot and I'm not going to feel good in 5 minutes, but I'm hoping and praying that I am on an upswing right now. I haven't really been physically ill as far as throwing up, but I have definitely been super, super nauseous for the majority of the day. I would say from about the second I wake up until, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock every day, and every day feels a little different. So appetite has been really challenging. Workouts have been pretty pitiful, and I just haven't really been able to be super consistent in that department, but I am doing my best right now to just give myself a lot of grace and a lot of space to hold for myself, knowing that that is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. And that me not feeling good is going to be temporary. I'm probably going to hit the second trimester and it's going to be a completely different experience. So just choosing to be really positive about that. To answer, because I'm sure there's going to be questions on what it looks like to be pregnant now during COVID and kind of what the process was for us. I did find out that I was pregnant right around 5 weeks. It was May 5th, so it was just a few days before my birthday. So it was very exciting news to kind of have during that time and to make that week even extra special. So we booked my appointment right away. Appointments are usually booked, the research that I've done, anywhere from like 7 to 9 weeks, but preferably, right at that 8-week mark. So I had my appointment booked. I have a fantastic OBGYN, so if anybody in Long Beach needs a resource, her name's Elizabeth West. I'm super happy with her. I will put her information here as well. She's just very human. She's very straightforward. You guys know, hopefully by now, being my audience, that I'm just kind of I shoot straight from the hip. I'm pretty black and white about stuff, and hopefully that's why you're here. So booked that appointment. Biggest question I will probably get from you guys is, was Donnie allowed to be at that appointment? He was not. Yeah, it's unfortunate and it's not ideal. Of course I would want him to be in that appointment, but again, both of us are just trying to be super, super positive on what's going on right now. I was able to FaceTime him in. He was able to hear and experience all the things that I did. It just wasn't in person. Me focusing on him not physically being there is just negative, and it doesn't serve myself and it doesn't serve him. So we also know for upcoming appointments that is possibly what we will be going through for a majority of this pregnancy, which is fine. Again, not ideal, but it is what it is, and we're gonna make the best of it. So went to my 8-week appointment just to give you guys like kind of a picture of what that looked like. I did wear a mask, brought my own mask. I didn't have to have a mask from them specifically. Went down into the lobby. I just had to fill out a quick questionnaire of, had I contracted COVID? Had I been around anybody that was positive or had been sick? Am I experiencing any symptoms? Super quick. It only took a couple minutes. Rolled right upstairs, went into her practice, and it was very clear to me that when I got into the lobby that they were being very intentional about spacing out appointments. So it was only myself, one other patient that was in the room at that time. They took my information. I did, before my appointment, make sure that everything on my chart, which is just the online service part of working with my doctor, was uploaded. So that I had all of my current health insurance. I had filled out a questionnaire that they wanted me to fill out just to make me getting there feel a lot smoother and not have to hang out in the lobby. So that's optional. You don't have to do that, but I chose to do that. And then I was really only in the lobby for a couple minutes. They took me back pretty immediately. Do the standard, take your weight, take your blood pressure, all that good stuff. And then I walked back into the room. She finally came in and, right before she was getting ready to probe me and see if we could find a heartbeat and what was in my belly, I did FaceTime Donnie, got him on the call so that he could experience it with us, and it was really special. She was able to find a super strong heartbeat. Donnie's first question was, is there one or is there two? And there's only one, but it was really cool because you could just see this little mushroom-shaped thing in my belly, and it was super exciting. So he was so funny too. Donnie was like trying to hear the heartbeat, and he was confusing that with, he thought Elizabeth and I were like banging on the tables, and I was like, no, that's the heartbeat, because it is just so loud and it's such a crazy noise that you hear. So we got to hear a really strong heartbeat, and she just kind of covered with me some questions that I had and that you might be having concerning COVID in relationship to pregnancy. You guys, myself, and even my doctor, we don't have all the information. There's just simply not enough data around pregnancy and COVID. And I don't say that to scare anybody or to scare myself, but it's just the reality of the situation. There's no information out there right now to say that it makes it more dangerous for you to be pregnant and be, around someone that has COVID or has had COVID. The way that I'm choosing to look at it and the way that my doctor has instructed me to look at it is it's very similar to the flu. So I wouldn't intentionally, if I knew someone was sick around me with the flu, probably stay away from them. Obviously with this virus, it's a little bit unique that we don't know when people are sick or they have tested positive or they did quarantine. So there's a lot of different variables, but again, I'm just choosing to be really positive about this whole thing and choosing to control variables that I can control and to not live in fear and not worry about things that I can't control. So Donnie and I have been both very diligent about, he goes to the grocery store. I've popped in a couple times with him to get one or two things, but for the most part, he does kind of our big grocery shop hauls, which I'm not gonna lie, has been really nice. I still go on walks. I could potentially, my doctor even said I could go back to work if I wanted to. So there's nothing wrong with being around people. She said, to be honest, that when I get into the third trimester, that there's going to be more concerns because I will be delivering right into the new year. So my delivery date is looking like January 5th. Most likely there's going to be a second surge of this. So it'll be that much more important that during that third trimester, I'm not around a bunch of people that are sick. Generally speaking, the winter, there are more sick people. So it's just going to be something that I'm going to have to be more aware of, but again, not live in fear of, because really what's the point in that? So, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you guys, it was a very exciting appointment because I was able to hear the heartbeat. Pretty uneventful appointment though. It's like you hear the heartbeat, you see the baby, and then that was pretty much it. The only other kind of standard thing that she would have done would have been a pap smear. I had had a pap smear a couple months prior to that, so I didn't have to have that done. Everything came back normal. So that's really what's all is done during the first appointment. Left, went downstairs, got to greet my husband and just be super excited with him, and it was awesome. So it was a great experience. Yeah, was I bummed he wasn't in that appointment? Sure, but it didn't take away the excitement of it. So if you're going through this and you're worried about that, you're only going to worry about it if you allow yourself to be worried about it or allow yourself to be upset about it. So I would just say staying really positive is super important right now for me and just keeping my overall stress low. So being happy and being excited definitely reduces my stress levels. So that is what I'm choosing to make important right now. Moving forward, I was in shock. I go back in June 8th. So that will be right when I'm about 10 weeks. I did at my first appointment found out I was a little bit further along than I thought. I was 8 weeks and 4 days instead of 8 weeks. So 10 weeks is coming up really quickly. At the 10-week appointment, it's going to be really cool because we do all the genetic testing. So they're going to check for autism and Down syndrome and any of kind of the heavy hitters. I'll have a lot of blood work done, which I hate getting blood work done, but I'm just going to have to kind of suck it up and do it. And we could actually find out what we are having. So that is probably your next question. Are we finding out? As of right now, the answer is yes. I married a man that hates surprises. He doesn't even like being surprised on his birthday. So he has decided that he would really like to find out. I would be totally cool with not finding out and just allowing it to be a surprise, but we kind of decided that this first one we'll find out and then we'll go from there. We do want to have more kids, so if we decide to have other ones that are a surprise, that would be awesome. So yeah, in 2 weeks we're going to find out what we have, and by the time you see this, you will probably know what I'm having because I'm probably going to show you guys this video right around 12 weeks or whenever I want to show it and feel comfortable. But yeah, you guys, I'm super pumped. I hope it's coming off that way. It's just, we're living in super, super heavy times, and I'm having a really hard time with just my mental headspace and creating space for learning more about what's currently going on in our world and how important it is to be proactive in this movement of Black Lives Matter. It does matter a lot to myself and to our household, and I hope that it matters a lot to you as well. And just creating space too for the fact that we're still in a pandemic. So there's a lot to consider, but I think that this is going to be such an amazing little joy that we bring into this life. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm really excited for 2021 to just bring some innocence into this world and not have things feel so heavy. So I am really excited. I don't know how much of my pregnancy I'm going to want to share with you guys or not share with you, but I plan to do my best and just be super authentic about it and just really real about what's going on. Including all of the parts like feeling like right now, because that's just a part of pregnancy and not all pregnancies. So looking forward to that. If there's anything that you guys would specifically like to hear from me, or maybe you have questions or concerns with pregnancy and COVID, I'll do my best to answer questions. I am not an expert, I am not a doctor, and those are things that you should always check in with your doctor before referring to a YouTube video, if you will. So that's the exciting news. Little Keef coming at ya, 2021. Thank you guys so much for watching and just supporting, especially my kind of new fitness journey and business in such a crazy time. But I love you guys, and I will see you soon.